Hey there everybody, Stuart Knight here with a quick video that I hope will help you boycott what you thought and help you lead a life that's just a little bit better than maybe the one that you were leading before. Okay, so to bring in this week's subject, I want to speak to you about ghosting, or what it means to be a ghost. Now, have you ever met a ghost? All right, well, you probably haven't actually met a ghost. That's probably what you think, but the thing is that everybody's met a ghost when it comes to ghosting because they're everywhere. Right now, when I talk about a ghost, I'm not talking about these weird, creepy spirits that come back from the dead like Elvis or maybe your grandmother or Donald Trump. Okay? What I'm talking about are these people who believe, they really do believe, they can turn themselves into a ghost simply by cutting off communication with somebody else. Right? These people, they think to themselves, if I just stop texting somebody, or if I stop emailing or phoning that person, or if I just stop showing up in that individual's life on any level, then I can turn myself into a ghost. That's right. I can make that person believe that I'm dead, that I've just moved into the fabrics of the stratosphere and I'm no longer here. And if I can do that, then I can relinquish myself of any duty that I might have of showing another human being integrity. Well, if you think that is true, I, Stuart Knight, am here to tell you that you're wrong. And to let you know that you're a bit of an asshole. Okay, now, my goal with this video is to inspire you to become a better version of yourself and to become a little less of an asshole. Alright, so let's talk about the term ghosting for those of you who have not actually been on Tinder recently. I thought Stuart was in a relationship. Okay, so as far as I understand it, the term ghosting first originated in the world of dating. Okay, so two people go on a first date, which is, by the way, better than three people going on a first date, or even four. So you go on a first date and with this other person, and those two people maybe go on a second date, and then a third date, and then a fourth date, whatever it happens to be. And then eventually they get to the point where they're now exchanging saliva, awesome, and maybe even other bodily fluids, even better. And then eventually, though, it gets to the point where there's that one person who's just not feeling it anymore. Right? Maybe they're not feeling the chemistry anymore. Maybe they realize they've been living a lie. Perhaps they finally met that third person who was supposed to go on that first original date. I don't know what it is. They're just not feeling it anymore, which is totally cool. Okay, so the person's not feeling it anymore. Like we said, totally cool. So what should that person do? Well, apparently the answer is nothing. Yeah, this is a thing. Have you heard about this? No, don't text them and tell them that you're no longer interested. Don't call them. Don't tell them face to face. Just go Kaiser Sose, okay? Just say bye-bye. Become a ghost. Pretend you never even met that person. Pretend you never had a relationship. Pretend you didn't swap saliva. It's pretty intimate to do that. And last time I checked, okay? So this is what's happening. In fact, this is not just happening with a few people. This apparently is happening with hundreds of thousands of people who are actually believing that this is an acceptable form of behavior. And I just want to know, who are these people? Who believes that this is an acceptable form of behavior? In fact, I don't just want to meet these people, I would rather meet their parents. All right? What kinds of parents raised children to believe that that was cool? I mean, what was it like growing up and with those kids? I mean, if they were asked by you to pass the salt at the dinner table, like, were they just allowed to just completely ignore the parent? Or if, let's say that parent left a note on the kitchen table that said, hey, I'm going to be late from work tonight, so make your own dinner. I mean, was that kid just allowed to pretend that they just didn't understand the English language? Did they say, oh, you know what, I do not speak English, I speak Spanish, I am Espanol. That is the absolute worst Spanish accent anybody can do, and it is the last time you'll ever see me do it. What else? I mean, when parents used to introduce these kinds of kids to their friends, were the kids expected to say hello, or were they just allowed to just stay completely quiet, and the parent just comes along and says, oh yeah, you know what, sorry about that, they're just practicing for their upcoming role in a big play, they're playing a mute. Who are these people? Right, and by the way, I've now learned in life that these people don't just exist in the dating world, they exist everywhere. Some of them are watching this video right now hating me because I'm calling them out on the fact that they do it. I see this in business now all the time. Here's an example, okay? So some potential client, they call our company or they email our company and they want to know whether or not I am available to speak at their event. They've said, oh, you know what, we've heard great things about Stuart. We think he'd be a great fit for our theme. How much does he cost? Is he available? Does he talk about this? How long does he talk? You know, these kinds of things. And we get back to them with the answer to their questions, and we throw a few questions their way. And then they answer the questions that we've asked, and we go back and forth a little bit. Then, in many cases, they will ask us to go to that next stage, which is to give them a proposal. Can you, put something together that gives us, the benefits of what our audience is going to learn and all the things they're going to get as takeaways from Stuart's presentation? No problem. We do this all the time. I take many hours to put that proposal together. Then somebody on my team will design that proposal to make it look all pretty. We send it off to them, and then they don't respond. And then, okay, fine, that's cool. And we assume that they got it because we had other email exchanges. Then maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, we send out an email and saying, hey, you know what? Just want to follow up on that proposal. Everything cool? Anything else we can do for you? Nothing. Ghosting! You know what? They apparently died. Nothing happens because they're dead. That must be it, right? Because no one else I can't think of another reason why somebody would do that. Okay, cool. Maybe a couple of weeks later, they're busy. We get it. You're busy. We then send a message, maybe now like up to a month later, saying, hey, just kind of following up on those emails and the proposal because, you did ask us to hold some dates for you, and now we've got some clients that are asking for the same dates. So do you still want us to hold those dates, or can we give them to the other client? We know we promised them to you first. We want to make sure you get them. Nothing. They just stop the conversation. Listen, can we just come to the point in a situation like this where we act like adults? Where we just say, hey, you know what? It's totally cool. Maybe you found somebody who's a better fit for your particular theme. Maybe you changed your mind. Now you want a woman. Maybe you want a black man. Maybe you want a gay man. I don't know what it is, but it's cool because I want your conference to be amazing. And sometimes I'm the guy that's going to be the best fit, and sometimes somebody else is. There's lots of great speakers out there. But all I ask is that can we finish the conversation? Because the last time I checked, you started the conversation. If I started the conversation with you, I totally get it. You don't have to respond, but you started it with me. So let's show some integrity and just close off this conversation and maybe work together someday in the future. It's your opportunity to be awesome. Here's a question for you. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you send out an invite to a handful of people, maybe 20 friends, family members, whoever it happens to be, but let's just use friends as the example here, and you invite them to something that's important to you. Maybe it's a birthday party, maybe it's an anniversary, maybe it's a big social night on the town, it's been a long time since you've gone out, whatever, okay? And a bunch of your friends respond saying, yeah, I can make it. Some say, I'm sorry, I wish I could be there, I can't make it. But don't you find it interesting that there's always a handful of people who just don't respond at all? Okay, what do you think about these people? Are they still your friends? Okay, is that cool with you? Because it's not cool with me. My friends totally know that I will always be completely fine if they can't make it to something. I get it. People are busy. I can accept that. I don't accept not responding. We are friends. We're not just some distant person I met one time in the middle of Aruba when I was on vacation 15 years ago. We are friends. And at the very bare minimum of our friendship, the most, or I should say, the least I can expect is that you will respond to my message just letting me know you can't make it. And my friends know. They know that if you don't respond to my messages enough times, guess what? You don't get invited anymore. Which sucks because my parties are awesome. Okay, let's talk about another example of where ghosting is happening. It's happening in the workplace. All right, did you know, I just read this article recently, I think it was the New York Times, where the government right now of the United States is actually putting a task force together to try to figure out how to handle or what to do about ghosting in the workplace. More specifically, people just no longer showing up to work. Okay, so that just goes to show this is not just a couple people doing it. There are so many people doing it that the government is putting a bloody task force together for it. Okay, so what does that mean? Somebody doesn't like their job. My God, how many people don't like their job? I get it. I've been there. And instead of showing integrity and giving that person notice so that they can find somebody else to replace them, they just don't show up for work. They're like, yeah, not feeling it. I'm not going to go to work anymore. I mean, goodness gracious, folks. You are being such a jerk when you do that, and it's not cool on any level. And are these the same people who are out there going, I just don't understand what it is. Like, I've just applied for this new job, and that last boss that I had, I mean, he just won't give me a good reference. I mean, that guy is such an asshole. No, you're the asshole. Listen, like I said before, I know there's a bunch of people out there who are hating on me right now for what I'm saying. And they're hating on me because I'm calling them out on the things that they know they've done to other people. Look, I've done these kinds of things and I don't feel good about it in the times when I have. And not just these situations, but we've all done things in the past where we're not proud of the person that we were back then, or we didn't show up as our best selves. That is what it means to be a human being, and that is life. So if you want, you have a choice to hate on me. You can put all kinds of negative comments about the email. You can unsubscribe to my database. You can tell everyone I'm a jerk. Whatever you want. That's a choice. Or you can raise your game. Or you can take your life to the next level. And you can say to yourself, you know what? There's a point here. I have an opportunity to show integrity in many cases in my life, and I haven't shown it. But moving forward, I can. And to me, I have to think to myself, how cool is that? Every day when you wake up is a new opportunity to be awesome. Every time you communicate with someone is a new opportunity to be awesome. So why not take that opportunity? Because when you're awesome with other people, they want to be awesome with you. When you show integrity with other people, they just don't want to. They begin to value you. They respect you. They like you. They admire you more than they did before. And those are people who will then maybe recommend you to somebody else in their network as someone who should fall in love with somebody else because you showed integrity. You were cool. You know what? I get it. I want you to introduce you to my girlfriend or to this guy that I know. Or maybe they will recommend you to another job because you showed integrity. Or maybe they will recommend you to a new opportunity because you showed integrity. You see, you're not getting ahead by hiding. When you hide, you send a message to other people that says, I'm not amazing. In fact, what you're saying is, I'm a dick. And you have a choice as to whether or not you want to be that person or not. And when you send a message of integrity to other people, that makes them want to lift you up into a greater life. Here's one thing I know, my friends. Okay, and I've met millions and millions of people with my job, and I've met really incredible, successful, happy people. And I can tell you that none of those amazing people ghost. None of them go ghost on the people. They have those tough conversations. They show up. And the other thing I've learned in my life is that people who are not awesome, they do ghost. So, which one do you want to be? The choice that you make will dictate how the rest of your life unfolds. How cool is that? Thanks for checking out that video, my friend. I've got one more over here for you. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And next to that, you can also subscribe to my weekly newsletter. If you do, you get a free gift. How cool is that? And last but not least, please make sure that you share this with other people. Together, we can change the world. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.